Hello again, Aries. The phone is playing funny beggars. The camera, I don't know if it's the storage issue. I haven't had a storage warning, but we seem to have where it's switching off. So we're going to have this reading in two parts, which is probably a good thing because it's a long one. So we've got the Page of Cups on the bottom here. So again, child or childish behaviour. Hanging man, Pisces energy. Someone is stuck with another person's childish behaviour. Someone, I feel like you are the someone else who can see it. You can see what's going on, but someone else can't. Someone's really invested in this person. They really want to, it's coming through as work for them. But you don't want to work for them. But I feel like it's an elder trying to get the younger person to do their dirty deeds, to do their digging, to do their gossiping. It's kind of like a flying monkey situation. Because we've got these cards here which give the impression of a master manipulator, and it's an older person. So tell me about the Seven of Cups, which, as I say, to me can be about gaslighting, trying to confuse. And if you haven't seen part one, I've talked in the intro about someone younger or more impressionable or more immature who's got this learned behaviour where they're starting to be manipulative because they've seen their parent be manipulative. Maybe they've manipulated their parent. We've got the Ten of Wands trying to show through, so I'm going to take it. So this Seven of Cups is something that's really troubling you. It's, again, I feel like you feel with the Devil and the Ten of Wands that you've got this thorn in your side. You've got this other energy that's really too much hard work for you. You've had enough with them. There's going to be, or there is at the moment, the last straw with this person. As you can see, the last straw breaks your back. Again, I'm noticing the stags here. I'm also noticing this hermit's belt. Someone could have a long leather belt. Again, I'm noticing the hermit's white beard. So there's definitely someone who's got a beard. And it doesn't have to be the manipulative person. It could be a separate message, but there's something about being burdened at night with, it could be with online messages with the Seven of Cups. Like a trail of abuse or manipulative gaslighting. Someone, you see, I quite often see the Ten of Wands as someone's had verbal diarrhea. They've just let blow because they've had a lot on their mind. They've got a lot on their plate, or they've had a lot that they've wanted to say but they haven't. It's been weighing heavy on them. So I feel like there's been some online messages that have just been the last straw for you, Aries. Tell me about this Ten of Wands. Tell me about the Ten of Wands for Aries. We've got the Empress. So the Empress, we've got the mother figure and the father figure here, or the pair of spouses, or the pair of ex-spouses. Now, because we've got the Hermit next to her, there could be a grandmother who's just been getting on your nerves. If they're on your last nerve, yeah, there's also a pregnancy here. Someone could have a bad back because they're pregnant, because you do get these changes in your spine, particularly the lower spine. The ligaments become more, I don't know if it's softened. I mean, I've had 2 children, but there's something there about a pregnancy, definitely. Tell me about this 6 of Swords for my Aries. Tell me about this move, this moving into calmer waters. Someone wants to move on after an argument. 5 of Swords, 6 of Swords. Someone wants to make peace, but you want to protect your peace. If this person is going to argue again or bring drama again, there we go. There's you in the 9 of Pentacles. You are like, if someone here, whoever it is, if they don't add to your peace, you know, with the Empress energy, you know your worth, you know you deserve to be cherished, you know you don't deserve to be clashing with someone, to be manipulated. So you'll either work for yourself, if it's a boss that's been doing this, with the 9 of Pentacles, or you'll separate yourself, 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. You'll get away from the clashing situation, the manipulation. You don't deserve to be used. You deserve to have people come to you just because they want to be with you, because they see your goodness. It's this meme that I was getting yesterday that went, you don't lose people who love you, you lose people who used you. So there is something about that. Now, I don't know who the user is or was, Aries. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Tell me about Aries in the 9 of Pentacles energy. So we've got the Fool. So there is a new job opportunity, an opportunity to work for yourself, to be your own boss. There is, you have followed this new path, a lot of you, whether it is work-wise or in your personal life. There are quite a few of you who are single and quite happy, and you know, you're taking care of yourself, your home, your garden. Some of you are single parents. So the Fool is, you know, this new lease of life, this new pathway where you're more independent, and I feel like you love it. I feel like you're loving it. Look at that jester skipping in the air for joy. But there's also someone who is naive. You know, this represents you. This is the other Aries major arcana, so you're coming through very, very strong in your own reading. The Empress, by the way, is Taurus Libra. So it could be like a parent not wanting a kid to make a fool of themselves, or a kid, or just someone not wanting a parent to fool you, or if you're a parent, for you to be fooled. You know, there's something about someone just not someone just attacked my throat chakra. So we've got the Strength on the bottom, Leo energy. And then we've got this Queen of Swords. 9 of Wands. So there's definitely too much water under the bridge. You do not want an Ace of Pentacles, a fresh start, a Fool, which is a fresh start, with this manipulative energy at the moment. But if you've got this, you know, if you've got a family member in common with them, or you've got a friend in common with them, someone who is being manipulated by them. I feel like it's that kind of thing again. There's maybe you and 2 others, or you and 3 others. And there could just be one of those other people that you want to continue a relationship with. But it might get to the point where that other person that you want in your life is being very manipulated by the other, So it could be where it's gonna, with the Strength, Queen of Swords, you're really gonna have to plug up the courage to cut the tie. I hope not with, the person that you want in your life. But if they're going to continue to be manipulated by whoever's manipulating them, it could be their own spouse or their own, their family member or their boss, whoever. It's like, it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. You can't really win if someone is being manipulated by another, and maybe their opinion of you is being, because when I put this card down, this 7 of Cups, I was getting someone's trying to muddy the waters. So you have got some clear water between you and someone else, and you do want, in your independent, calm life that you've forged for yourselves, you do still want this other person, but they're very impressionable. And they're having their opinion coloured. They're having, what it is someone else who is older than them, I feel, is, what's the word? Projecting. Someone else is projecting, maybe someone else who's got an issue with you, who's ghosted you, or vice versa, is projecting their issue, which should be just between you and them, onto this impressionable energy, which isn't fair. But I'm getting wet behind the ears. Someone is younger, more impressionable, more, naive or more immature, and they're being influenced here. That's what I feel. Oops. So we'll have some advice and possible potential outcome for my Aries, please. Queen of Cups. Whatever you do, Aries, do it with love. If you have to cut someone off, even if it's temporarily, even if it's permanent with this Hermit, do it. Send them on with love. This is you in your empathetic energy. This is you maybe in your parental energy with the Hermit and the Queen of Cups. Sorry, the Empress and the Queen of Cups. However, there's the lightning and there's your cup. So someone that you love, you're just waiting for the next disaster. And I do feel like the next disaster is something to do with this person being influenced, maybe showing off because they've got this someone's other else's opinion weighing heavy on them, and they're showing off. It is kind of giving me where the kid's been to see the other parent, and either the other parent or the grandparent on the other side is slagging you off or something like that, and the kid's coming back like, I'm not going to do what you say, that kind of, it is giving that kind of thing. even if the kid is older. So Queen of Cups, she gives too much, and it's going to lead to a tower. You're going to end up emotionally exhausted, worn out with the 9 and 10 of Wands, with trying to deal with someone else's behaviour, someone else who's being influenced by someone else again's behaviour, and you can't control other people's behaviour. As I keep reading the lovely Mel Robbins, the only thing you can have control over is yourself and your reaction, and you can take back your own power. So you've got to let them get on with it, as my mother always said. Let them, Mr. Chrissy always says, let them find their own way. But then Mel Robbins, the part 2 for her let them theory is let me take the reins. What can I do? What can I do for myself to empower myself in this situation? Because if you just let them, then you're going to let them trample all over you. And I feel like maybe they are, or they have been with the 10 of Wands. But you're not responsible for someone else's happiness. You're not responsible for someone else's bad behaviour. You're not responsible for someone else who's naive enough to be manipulated by someone. But do not overgive. That's the problem with the Queen of Cups energy. It is a very psychic energy, so you, with the Ace of Swords up here, you see what's been going on, but I feel like it's someone else who's blind to it. Someone else is blind to manipulation. I'm sorry that this is going to be an hour plus reading, but it is in 2 parts. So you've got those 2 bite-sized chunks if you haven't got time to watch all of it. So the Justice, Libra energy. So there's a lot of major arcana here with the Devil, the Emperor, the Empress, the Hermit, the Fool, the Justice. So sit tight, my loves. But we've got the Tower, more major arcana, Scorpio on the bottom. So what we've got here, we've got the World, more major arcana, fixed energy. So Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus. We've got someone who's going to be bored in the relationship, in this shadow energy on the bottom. Queen of Wands, they're going to maybe give in to a third-party temptation. I don't know whether it's going to come full circle or whether someone's going to close out a cycle. Someone's going to end a connection, maybe very suddenly because of a third party. Someone's just... I feel like this is you being bored with someone else's crises as well. Someone else, so yet again, there's another drama with some other person that's in your life, and you're just fed up with it here. And with this Queen of Wands world, this could even be you having the confidence to take action here, to either put a distance between you and someone else's drama, or to end a connection, or to get away on a world trip, to get away on a cruise, to get away from it. Again, this Justice person's got a blindfold on. So I feel like the Karma Fairy, because that's what the Justice is about, as well as some legal action that might be underway, some court case, some legalities for some of you. It's going to work out in your favour. The Karma Fairy is behind the scenes, sort of levelling things up. If you feel like with the, the life events with the Wheel of Fortune, if you feel like you've always been having to deal with And I feel like it's someone else's drama. It could just be your life being affected by someone else's opinions, someone else's manipulations, someone else's drama, someone else's bad luck. Mel Robbins kind of teaches you to just work on yourself and what's right for you in your life and what makes you happy and what you can control and what you need to do for yourself. But also I feel like the karma fairy, because the universe and the karma fairy, they see the manipulations going on. And so we've got justice. Yeah, we've got justice for either justice for someone's mother. You place yourself where you need to be in the scenario if these messages resonate, Aries. Or it is justice for someone. It could be someone's mother who's been treated badly by someone else's mother or by their own mother. It's kind of like a generational thing. Again, there's learned behaviour where the parent is sly, manipulative, covert, jealous, possibly, toxic in some way, dysfunctional. Whoever the parent is, the grandparent, should I say, then it gets passed down to the parent, whether the parent is your ex or someone like that, Aries. And then the child, the third generation. That's what I feel like we've got here with this hermit, the empress and emperor, and then, the page that keeps trying to show through. So I feel like it's learned manipulative behaviour. Learned behaviour, projections of behaviour. Any more advice and potential outcome for Aries? So don't give too much of your love. Pour into your own cup, Aries. But you will get your justice. Any more advice from Spirit for my beautiful Aries? Any more advice from Spirit for my Aries? That one is trying to... So we'll take those two. So we've got the Four of Swords. You need a rest. You need to recover from some hurt because you've been hurt by someone who's coming through here. Then we have this Queen of Swords. So again, this can represent someone who's cold and harsh with you, who you've cut off, or it could represent you as well, being very discerning. You've got your sword at the ready, cutting some toxic tie up here. Do let me know if the situation resonates. If you don't mind, Aries, I would love to know. I would love you to give the thumbs up. It gives me that bit of feedback and it really makes me feel better. It makes me feel like, and when you comment as well to clarify the situation, it makes me think, oh, well, I'm not going mad because, sometimes us tarot readers, we don't know what we're reading. You need a rest though. You need to be, there could definitely be a Libra energy here with the two Libra major arcana and then this Queen of Swords. You see, these three swords, I've said this in one of the readings months ago, these three swords here They're either pointing to this person's chest or their stomach. So there could be something about a heart attack in the past, or someone who's had heart surgery or stomach surgery, or maybe there's been so much trauma and hurt in a situation. It could be a situation that's involved, a lawyer, a solicitor, a judge. There could just have been pain in the chest or the stomach through anxiety. And there's this message. The advice is to be very discerning and to cut, to tell someone to cut it out. Stop it. I'm not putting up with that behaviour. It's also cutting a tie, as I say. The Queen of Swords, if it's someone's ex or someone's, ex's mother, or someone's current spouse's mother, it's like you just want a rest from this person. They make you just want to lie down. Again, we're in the trenches. 9 of Wands on the bottom, Wheel of Fortune, 4 of Cups, Queen of Wands. So I do feel like someone's latest disaster, and I don't think it's you, someone in your energy who comes to you for advice, who leans on you. The latest disaster is like a third-party temptation, because of boredom. And, again, we've got the World, 7 of Cups up there. There's something about online. Someone could send you messages online, and you might end up being very, they might get your guard up because they're being funny with you. They're being aggressive, like ratty with you. But it could be because their partner has got a wandering eye. There could be that scenario. It could just be a friend. It could be anyone who, oh, here we go again. There's been a third party situation. Here we go again. There's been some kind of near miss accident. Here we go again. There's some kind of financial crisis. Whatever it is, you're being dragged into the trenches with someone, and it's their external sort of personal goings on that's led you here again. If this is resonating for you. So that's your reading today, part 1 and 2, my darlings. I bid you a beautiful weekend. Now take care of yourselves. As always, get that rest that you need. Some of you have definitely got stomach pains, chest pains with anxiety. Some of you, maybe you've had some surgery, you're recuperating from something. I'm wishing you all of the best. I'm wishing you a speedy recovery if you have. Some of you have got back strain, some kind of back complaint. Get some rest, lie down and rest your back. Be very discerning. Choose who you give your beautiful empathetic energy to. Choose wisely. I'm sending you a big old heap of love and light, and thank you so very much. Please keep up with the subscriptions, the likes, the comments. It really, really, really helps me out. God bless each and every one of you. I love you all. Till next time.